Alright guys, I'm so sorry I've been on a hiatus here recently. I am back. My husband has gone back to work, so I will be trying to upload and make up for the lost time over this weekend. I've gotten a lot of really helpful comments. I've gotten a lot of PMs, and everybody's saying they want to see me in front of the camera. I'm working on that. I just have to figure out a good setup to put me in front of the camera where I can still see what I'm doing. Until then, I do have somebody I'm going to bring in that will be my model, and I will show you how to do some different looks with hooded eyes. I've kind of been playing with that and learning to embrace the fact that I have hooded eyes and kind of, well, we'll get to that later. You'll enjoy that. Until then, let's go over different primers. And I'm so sorry for the nasty nails that you're seeing. I needed to work on that as well, but so just ignore those for the time being. I'm going to show you the different primers that I have. I think I may have another face primer somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. So I'm going to go over these primers here, and I'm going to put them on my arm, and I'm going to show you a lower end eyeshadow and show you kind of what they do, what they're for, and why you should always be using a primer of some sort. In order to do this, I'm going to use my arm, obviously. I'm going to use this Jordana. Actually, just a real quick shout out, Jordana's little eyeliner pens, they're $1.99. You can find them at Walgreens. These things are crazy awesome. I don't like eyeliner pens. I've used a lot of eyeliner pens, and every single time I am disappointed. But these little puppies, I actually bought a bunch of them when they were on sale like a month or two back, because they are like, I'm afraid they're going to disappear. Anyways, we're going to go over these. Some of them are higher end, some of them are lower end. Some of them I use more often, some I don't. We'll go over why, and let's get started. So first one I'm going to use is this Urban Decay Primer Potion. We're just going to put a little U there so we kind of know where that's at. I'm going to put a little line right here so we have a divider, so we know that everything from this way forward will be Urban Decay. Now, if you know anything about makeup, you will know that this is an older packaging. I'm still using up. They have newer packaging with squeeze tubes, which I love because the squeeze tubes allow you to get all of the product. This one is still cute. It still works. It's just harder to get to the product that's maybe touching on the sides and things of that nature. They also now have some tinted ones, which are kind of cool too, because you can almost wear them as a standalone. So here's the Urban, it has like a little doe foot applicator. There's a little Urban Decay. And it doesn't take a lot of any of these in order to get your eyelid covered. So like that little bit I put on there is perfect. Normally, if you're doing it on your eye, you would use your ring finger because you don't want to be tugging at that skin and causing wrinkles. But I'm going to try to use different fingers so we don't mess anything up, or mix them up, should I say. So next one I'm going to use is actually something I recommend awesomely as a face primer, but because it's not made to be around the eyes, in fact it's made to go between the thighs, I would say that you need to use caution around your eyes and make that decision for yourself if that's something you feel comfortable putting around your eyes. I've done it, I've felt fine. That doesn't mean it's the best idea, but it's definitely a great face primer as well if you feel uncomfortable for that. This does say Monistat on it. The first time most people see this, they look at me like I'm crazy, but this is the exact same type of formula that you would get in like a Smashbox face primer, which is normally, gosh, I don't even remember how much those are. I used to have one. They're way pricier than this. This tube here will last you so long, and it is like $6 at Walmart. I'll show you how much to put on. I'm actually going to use way less, and you're going to think this is crazy. Like, this is it. Normally, I use a pea size for my entire face. But that is the, we'll call that the M, the Monistat. And we'll draw a little line here. So that kind of shows you that between these two, that's the Monistat. And it goes a long way. Most of the ones, actually, I think all of the ones I have pretty much go into a invisible or a flesh tone. Okay, we'll keep these in order here. The next one I'm going to do will be the E.L.F. eye primer. This is $1, and you can find it in most Target stores. And we'll draw that line. Another, like, almost like a lip gloss type applicator. Just do a little tiny swipe there. And I like to take this up as a tip, just in case you're wondering. I take this up into my eyebrow so that it also holds my eyebrow powders and stuff in place. And just also, just a little bit, what was that? That was the E.L.F. Okay, so the next one is the Benefit. Okay. These will hold your eyeshadows in place longer. They will also allow you to get much more pigment from your eyeshadows. So if you have a cheaper eyeshadow that maybe you brought home and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like powdery and not as pigmented as you thought it should be, a lot of times if you put a primer on, it'll brighten it up so fast and you'll be like, what? Or maybe you won't be like, what? But you'll be surprised. That was, the next one is E.L.F. again. And we're going to go ahead and draw this out for hard candy. So this is the E.L.F. stick. This has the primer stick in it, but it also has on this side a liner sealer that you can take and dip into an eyeshadow and then use as a liner. I'm not fond of that, but that's for another video. My gosh, my table is making noises. Okay. This is so much, okay. We'll get into that in a minute. This is not my favorite. And then hard candy. Now my camera's saying it wants to die. We're gonna kind of get through this quick. Okay. So, now that we have that on, I'm just going to use one color from here. I'm going to show you a really cool color, actually. This is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. You can get this for like $5, I think, at Walgreens. And we're going to use this color down here. It's actually a duotone color that is pretty cool. So we're going to go on Herb and Decay. Use that one touch to the palette, and we're going to paint it on. One touch to the palette, paint it onto the Monistat. One touch to the palette, E.L.F. Benefit. The other E.L.F. and hard candy. Okay. Obviously, well, to me, I don't know if it's that obvious to y'all. They all help bring this out. Let me show, okay, hold on, let me do this real quick because this will help you also to understand the purpose of the primers. So this is my clean hand. There's nothing on it. That's the one touch in this mirror. See how this fades out around the edges? And it's a lot lighter than you would see in the other ones. That's without a primer. It brings the color on smoother and it brings the color on brighter when you use a primer. Now, to compare the primers to each other, this one has the most smoothest application, and I would say it's pretty even around the entire item. There's not a lot of stray. Now, this one, they all, I mean, if you look, they all kind of worked. I'm not fond of this one. The texture's awful. It's so thick that it's hard and you're going to have to pull on your eye. So I'm like on that one. This one, you can see that it's darker right there. It's patchy. It's darker in the center and then it kind of fades out along the edges. That's hard candy. Benefit is pretty solidly on there. There's not too much patching going on. There's some patching on this E.L.F. here. There's a lot of patching actually on this Monistat for some reason, and then the least amount of patching is right here on this Urban Decay. Now this color is really cool, and the reason I use this is to show you it's a duotone color, which normally you have to pay a lot more money for a duotone. And by duotone, I mean it looks like a red-brown. My lighting kind of sucks in here. It's more of a, it's a red-brown, like a rusty color, but in the picture it almost looks like bright red. But when the light hits it just right, there's a green. See right there in Urban Decay, it's green, so it's kind of cool. But you can see what I'm saying though, I think fairly clearly on how different it is when you use a primer. Also, you can still blend these out a bit, but they're not as oily, they won't crease as much. They still blend. I mean, it all works really well together. All of them work to some degree. There's just some that you will reach for more than others. And for me, the one I reach for the most for my eyes is Urban Decay. And the one for my face I always use is this one. That's why I don't have any other real face primer sitting out here, because this is the best value that I have found. I hope you found that a little bit helpful. I'll try, feel free to ask questions. I am more than happy to answer. It's not like I have thousands of people looking at this channel right now. So if you have questions, I will get back to them. It may take me a day or two. I do have a child. But if you have any questions or you want me to show you something specific, I would be more than happy to do so. Just let me know. And coming up soon, I will be going over the Drew Barrymore's new line flower that's found in Walmart. And I think I have, I'm trying to think what the other thing I have coming up. There's something else kind of neat I wanted to show you. Oh, I think it was about mixing mediums and how to make yours at home for like super duper cheap, and why you would use a mixing medium, and when what situations you would want to use a mixing medium in. But until then, there's that. My nails will be painted better next time. I'm so sorry they were nasty today, and I am trying my best to get in front of the camera for you guys. It will happen. Hopefully it'll be after I get my hair finished. I have a friend that does hair. I'm turning 30 this year, guys. Oh my God. I'm so excited to be 30 actually, but I am trying to get some color in my hair, something wild, until I turn 30, and I'm too old at that point to do it. So when you do see me, you'll get to see a new me. But have a great Friday afternoon. Tomorrow I will try to get another video up, and hopefully you'll check in and see that and comment and like it and share my links and all that fun junk. Talk to y'all later.